Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy Jelson here, and today we're back with a brand new NBA video, and I am so excited to be back. It's been a hot minute, like 2 or 3 weeks, because I've been very sick. I caught the Rona, and then I went on vacation, and then I got strep throat, and I still have strep throat, but I'm going to make a video because I really want to make a video. So it is also the NBA trade deadline, and I want to talk about that. And the main purpose of this video is I want to talk about how the Indiana Pacers have set themselves up to be contenders, not this year, but in the future. And the pieces they've allocated through this trade deadline and what they'll get in the future through drafts and other trades that they may make makes them one of the brightest young teams in the NBA, and some team that I'm really excited to watch in the future. Obviously, the first thing I want to bring up real quick is Malcolm Brogdon, because he's a player that, well, we don't really know what's going to happen. He's 29 years old. He just signed an extension. He couldn't be traded at the trade deadline because of the extension, so we didn't know what was going to happen, what the plan was with the Pacers, but now it looks like they'll probably trade him, which makes the most sense. I don't know if they'll get a young piece for them. That's probably the best move, but I don't know who they can get for Malcolm Brogdon, because as of right now, what is Malcolm Brogdon's trade value? Really, who knows? But I hope they can get a young piece for Malcolm Brogdon, and if they can't, then at least a first-round pick. That would be the ideal goal. First-round pick, maybe 2 first-round picks. I don't know if you get that for him, but you know, if you're a Pacers fan, I would hope for that. But the main part that I want to talk about in this video is they got 2 great young pieces. One of them yesterday and one of them today. And the main one is Tyrese Haliburton. They traded, well, basically 1-for-1. Tyrese Haliburton for Domantas Sabonis. I know there were some other pieces in there that were kind of thrown around, but those are the 2 main pieces in the trade that I want to talk about. You can argue back and forth who fleeced who. Was it an equal trade? I think the Pacers came out on top after really thinking about it. I know there's a lot of hot takes and stuff like that about it, but I think Tyrese is just the most valuable player in this trade, and the player, or rather the team that got him, was going to be the team that came out on top, and that's exactly what happened. I think the Pacers really blew it out of the park with this trade acquisition. Tyrese Haliburton is one of those guys that you view him from the stats and you're like, okay, this guy's solid, but he's not like, oh, it's a blown out of the way, why would you trade him type of player. Like 14.5 points per game, oh, that's okay, but that's not great, you know. Or how about 7.5 assists? Like, that's good, but like that's not like legendary numbers. And then you look and then you're like, oh, he's 21. Like, yeah, he's 21. That boy is young. That boy is young for sure. He has a lot of potential, and something that I believe Legend of Winning brought up in his video, and I really like this. And it's like a casual will look at it from a stats standpoint and look at it from a straight up, oh, maybe the Kings won this trade because they needed a big man. Well, in reality, yeah, Domantas Sabonis is a really good player. You got what you got. You know what Domantas Sabonis is going to be. He's a 2-time All-Star, a really good NBA player. But the fact is, you know what you got with Domantas Sabonis. With Tyrese Haliburton, he's not that far off of Domantas Sabonis right now. And his potential and his ceiling is a ton higher than what Domantas Sabonis is. We could see Tyrese Haliburton, I know for sure, an All-Star, but could he be an All-NBA player? I wouldn't rule it out of his cards at all. I would never rule that out of his cards. So we'll see what happens, but I'm super excited to see what Tyrese Haliburton can do for this Pacers team, because as I said, 14.5 points, that's still solid, especially for a second-year player. Like, we're talking, he's not been in the league, you know, for 4 years, 5 years, 14.5, that's like solid role player numbers. No, he's in the league for 2 years. He's been a good facilitator, a good 3-point shooter, a good mid-range shooter, a good guy that can drive to the basket, especially for his size. That, you know, I just don't see what you can't like about Tyrese Haliburton, and that's something I'm really excited about for the Pacers. And then another guy that they got that is slightly less exciting, actually me saying slightly is a disgrace, but it's a lot less exciting, but is also a young piece that nonetheless will help this Pacers team get to the promised land. At least that is my hope in the future. Another 21-year-old from the Phoenix Suns, Jalen Smith, a man that, as I said, is 21 years old. Man has been in the league same amount of time as Tyrese Haliburton, and a guy that has averaged 6 points per game this year. And it's like, okay, 6 points per game, like what, like that's not very good. But when he's been given the time of day, at the 5 position at least, he's been very, very effective. When DeAndre Ayton was out, he played like an absolute baller. He played, well enough to right where he got selected in the draft, and it made sense and all that why he was drafted so high. And they gave up on him because they got Torrey Craig, which Torrey Craig is a guy that's going to have the Suns win now, which is what the mold of the Suns team is right now. They're trying to win now, which makes complete sense for them. Do I think the Suns could have gotten more from Jalen Smith in a second round pick? 150%. But they got their guy, so it's whatever. Done deal. And the Pacers, I think they came out on top. I think they got another W of a trade here. Jalen Smith, as I said, only 6 points per game, but he played well during that time frame where he only got a certain amount of run, but he played an effective role when he did get the time of day. He was also a solid defender. Nothing great. I mean, I say solid because he was better than I expected him to be, I should say. So Jalen Smith is a guy that you can expect the Pacers to try to develop, and if there's enough outreach and if there's enough teams that want him, there was a report that the Pacers were going to try and move on from Jalen Smith right away because there was a lot of interest in him, which, I could see that happening too, because if Jalen Smith is bringing in a lot of interest where the Pacers believe they can get a better piece for Jalen Smith than what Jalen Smith is worth, then I could see the Pacers trading him in the offseason. He's also going to be a free agent coming up, so they're going to have to re-sign him, which I'm sure Jalen Smith will do. It's not like Jalen Smith has many more options. So I think that Jalen Smith is going to be a really good player for the Pacers. Whether he's going to be a star, I don't know. Is he going to be an all-star? Who knows? I think he's going to be a solid role player, a solid starter to say the least. But, we can hope he's going to be an all-star. I have hopes that he will be an all-star. So Jalen Smith is another young piece that I really do enjoy for this team. And those are the two main pieces I want to talk about for this team. I said that they're going to be contenders in the years to come, and the title may be a little bit clickbaity, my bad. But the Pacers are going to be extremely, extremely good. I made a video prior to this year saying that they were a solid team. They came out here, and now as of, the trade deadline day, so February 10th, they are the 13th seed in the East. So they're not very good. Obviously, that's why they're blowing everything up. And the good thing also is Miles Turner says that he wants to play with Tyrese Haliburton. So that's good. But I don't know how Jalen Smith fits in with that because he wants to play the 5. And I think Jalen Smith is a better fit at the 5. I don't know what you want to take on that. But, I think Miles Turner being happy is a really good thing for this team and something that if I'm a Pacers fan, I'm really excited about having our big man happy again and getting these young pieces. So that's been my take on the Indiana Pacers. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have, please remember to like, subscribe to my boy Jelson. See you guys in the next video, which is hopefully very soon, as long as I don't get sick again. Knock on wood. Peace out.